This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. People, I get a lot of emails. I get some hate email, and I really I enjoy the hate email. Here's one from a asswipe named Coleman. Now, this guy, he agrees with the First Amendment, but Bob Romanik was hurtful and hateful to the residents of Belleville to perpetuate a sick, cruel joke. Now, listen to this idiot, and he's got to have sheep or goats in his backyard. Maybe his daddy's a goat or a sheep. He says, Mark Kern and Mayor Eckert have more than helped this community. I demand, now this idiot asswipe, I demand you personally fire and release this man from his occupation. What idiots people are. See, I told you before, and I wish I'd have never run for office because I had to be a little nice. I'm not trying to make a friend. I'm trying to make a difference. But you notice these ignorant, stupid son of a bitches that all agree with the First Amendment. Only if you exercise your First Amendment right that agrees with their First Amendment rights and their way of thinking and their way of life. How stupid can people be? How big of idiots can people be? You know, you can complain, you can all day long say, Bob Romanik, I disagree with what you say. And that's your right as an American to say that. But you can't say if you actually believe in the First Amendment and what it stands for. You can't say, I shouldn't say it, I can't say it, throw me off the air for saying it. Do you understand? Do you people understand what the First Amendment is? It's free speech. And guess what? Hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. You can complain all day long. And I don't give you hate speech. Now, I speak about people I hate. Now, there's a difference between hate speech and speaking about people you hate. Never once have I said, hey, let's kill all those faggots, those no good son of a bitches. No, I think gay people have their place. But don't try to get into my space. Don't try to get into the straight people's faces or their, well, I don't know about the faces, but the places. We all have our place. The straight community doesn't try to push themselves off with the gay community, but the gay community, the vast minority, and see, I'm into this majority rules crap. Maybe you good people aren't, but I think in every election, majority rules. Unless you don't want majority to rule, unless you lost the election, then the majority doesn't rule. That's when the minority comes in. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to educate you people. I'm trying to provoke you people into thinking, getting off your asses thinking. This is a controversial show. You know it. You hear the disclaimer. I say it all the time. If you're offended by anything, don't listen. But you get these ignorant, stupid son of a bitches, they keep listening. And I tell them if they're offended, don't listen. And I don't mind them even listening if they get offended, if that's what they want. Some people like to get offended. Some people like it the hell beat out of them. Some perverts pay big money for that with the prostitutes. But don't sit there and ever say that I've never once said somebody doesn't have the right to say anything when they've disagreed with me on the air. Never once. You check back. I'll disagree with them. I'll tell them they're idiots. I'll tell them they're wrong. But I don't tell them they can't say it. But I get tired. And these are Kern's people. Apparently I hit a nerve. But it's not hate speech, people. You heard me, Kern and Sprague. Now I hate those two rotten son of a bitches, those two asswipe bastards. Now that's kind of hate speech. But me talking for real, me exposing things that need to be exposed. Now I'm a racist, I'm a homophobe, I'm this, I'm that. But I'd have to ask people, and these idiots talk about me and hate speech. Hate is a big, big, broad term, isn't it? My definition of hate may not be your definition of hate, and vice versa. But when an asswipe bastard, see this Coleman, it's Coleman at lionmail.net, Lion. So, hey, Coleman, give me your first name so I can rag you on the air, and you can always call. Anybody can call. We are America's voice of freedom, definitely the Patriot. You can call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. I'd never duck a call. But for asswipes like this Coleman and this other stupid son of a bitch, Nicholas Ebmeyer. Now, there's a movement to get you off the air. Hey, take that movement and shove it up your ass. Will ya? He's one of Kern's butt boys, one of his ass boys. Kern must have a big ass because everybody's all up his ass. Herbie Simmons, Frank Bergman, this Nicholas Ebmeyer. And let me tell you people, all of you, if I can't say what I want on the radio, why the hell be on? If you can't speak your mind, why have a mind? We always don't have to agree. There's 30 different colored cars in that parking lot because everybody has a different opinion in this great country. But as asswipe Nicholas Ember, get rid of Romanik. Let's see, you're a racist and a homophobe. That's your opinion, you idiot. And I would ask you, Nicholas, you asswipe bastard, you'll email me. Why don't you call me and let me know why you think I'm a racist? Will you let me know that? You can throw those words. I think you're a gay, stupid idiot. Now, I don't even know you, but I can throw out any words I want. You don't know who the hell I am or what I'm about. Nicholas Ebmeyer. That's Nicholas Emmeyer at yahoo.com. Yahoo my ass. Your mama didn't think I was a racist last night when I crawled out of that bed, Nick. Pisses me off, people. Bastards say I'm a racist. I'm far from being a racist. What happens if somebody's children accidentally heard you on the radio? Like, this is life, people. You mean the same person that'll cuss at home? Well, everybody cusses at home. These kids aren't as protected as we'd like them to be. But at 10 o'clock in the morning, and even at 4 in the afternoon and midnight, if you got your kids up and you let them listen, then you're complete idiots. You understand me? Don't give me that crap. Accidentally heard you on your radio. You should be ashamed of yourself. No, I'd be ashamed of myself if I didn't speak my mind. I'd be ashamed of myself if I had the opportunity to speak my mind and to educate people and to get people off their asses. Then I'd feel bad. But see, I'm taking this opportunity to speak. And this opportunity is only afforded me for those brave military heroes. And once again, you idiots out there that say I take patriotism too far. Nobody, why don't these asswipe Kern friends and Eckert's friends and all my political enemies' friends, they email. Eckert and Kern won't. Eckert and Kern will not. Because they don't have the guts. They don't have the guts. But for you idiots out there, my friends are enemies that say I take patriotism too far, you can kiss my white, red, and blue, hairy, stinky, old, wrinkled ass. I always say there's two things you can't love enough: your country and your family, and your country is your family. Why don't anybody send me emails? And they do. Why don't not my friends and my supporters, why don't my enemies and say, you're a no good son of a bitch, you're a hate monger, you're this or that, but you're a true patriot. See, nobody will tell you the good things. They want to give all the bad crap. But Nicholas Ebmeyer, what an idiot you are. Will you please give me a call? We've got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, what's up? This is Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, what the hell are you doing? Where's my Christmas present? Give me something. Give me something. Don't give me crap, because I got enough crap. Give me something. What's going on in your world, honey?
Well, I'm driving down the road. I'm a truck driver, and I love your show.
Wait a minute. You don't sound like you're on the Bluetooth.
I'm not.
Well, then you're a criminal. You know you're violating the law. But go ahead, sweetheart. You be safe out there. What's going on in your world, honey?
Well, I was told not to use the Bluetooth. But anyway, these idiots who says that you cannot express your freedom of speech, I bet you those dumbasses, they turn around and talk behind people's backs and will not say it in front of your face like you will.
You mean they're a bunch of hypocrites, and I say that all the time, Wendy, and that's a great point. You're right, Wendy. These bastards, they'll talk behind everybody's back. When Bob Romanik, and you've heard it 1,000 times, when I throw a rock, I wave my hand. I want them to know where the rock came from. But go ahead.
That's right, and it's like with me. I will turn around and tell them where they could go, where they could stick it, and everything. You can't use that. Hey, Wendy, we had to cut you off on that. You can't use that S word. I know I've been cut off 1,000 times, but go ahead. Okay, crap.
Okay.
Anyway, you got to stand up for yourself. You got to speak your mind. And these idiots who tells you can't do nothing, they need to go look in the mirror and throw a stone to see if they've done anything bad.
Yeah. Wendy, I want to know, you've listened to me. Do you think I'm a racist, or am I a realist of just telling what people are thinking and are afraid to say?
You're expressing what people are afraid to say.
I'm around white people all day long, and sometimes I'm ashamed to be white. And I've got a lot of black friends. I've got a whole lot of black friends, and my black friends will understand. We've started this name, the National Association for Majority Equality, and if any black person says I'm a racist because I want equal treatment, then number one, they're idiots, and number two, they're not my friends. Why can't white people stand up for themselves, Wendy?
They're too scared.
You hit it right on the head. You go in a place, a black man will start yelling, and, hey, I want my money back on this, and boy, this store will give the money back. You let a white person go in. Here's what happened. And I'm not a racist, see, but when you're white, Wendy, and you talk racial issues, then the blacks, not the proud blacks, but the ass-white plantation Negroes, they want to scare you away, because they figure if whites keep talking and they come up, somewhat get together and see that they can get themselves equal treatment, then the blacks will lose out. No, I want equal treatment for everybody, but I ask, why the hell wouldn't everybody, black and white, want to join our national group, the National Association for Majority Equality? Because all we want is equality for everyone. Is that racist at all?
Nope, not at all.
But you'll get the white people saying you can't say that. I just wonder, Wendy, when did we come to the point where the white people are afraid to take up for themselves? When was that?
That I have no idea. And I think it was last week sometime where the gentleman was talking about the N-word, which is not specifically made for the black people.
Now, wait a minute, Wendy. Okay, now, Wendy, you're not using the N-word on a person, but why do you feel, as a person, and you're white, why do you feel you can't use the word nigger as a word? Like the heavens are going to come down and suck you in and shove you down to hell. I don't understand that. When somebody says the N-word, that's more despicable than the word nigger to me.
I know there's white niggers, there's black niggers, there's purple niggers,
right.
there's orange niggers.
Thank you. Nigger, and a proud black person called up, and you know what they said? Nigger is an attitude. It's not a color, but you can't say that on the air. What the hell? You can say, I'm not using that term on any proud black person. I'm not even using it on the plantation Negroes. But for that word to be out there in the atmosphere, and you can't say that, you got to say the N word. How stupid is that? That's not racist for me to use the term nigger. I say killer. I say pedophile. Why, you can say any word. I'm not calling anybody any of those names, but why, I ask, because you know why? Because the whites are afraid. You can't even say black. I'm in a restaurant and I talk pretty loud, and I'm talking about the proud blacks below the hill. And somebody with me says, hey, there's a black man over there in the corner. Well, so what? I mean, damn, I know the guy knows he's black, and I'm complimenting him, but a white person can't talk about race at all. Now, a black person can sit up, and I appreciate them. They can go and they can picket and they can rob and they can loot and they can do whatever to get their rights. Why can't white people do that?
Well, like Red Fox used to say, there's a difference between a black man and a nigger.
Okay.
A black man will shoot you face to face, but a nigger will turn around and shoot you in the back.
Yeah, well, now, we're not talking color and race when we're talking nigger. We're talking attitude, right? We're talking attitude. We don't want to, I don't want to bring black and white up with the N word, because it really, to me personally, and it's my right, has nothing to do with color. It's got to do with attitude.
Right.
So
that's true.
Hey, Wendy, you have a good day. You have a Merry Christmas. If I don't hear from you, you tell all the truckers out there we appreciate all they do. And thank you for being a stand-up. And, okay, give it to me one last time. Are you proud and loud and white?
I'm proud, loud, and a female in being white.
Oh, there you had to throw that female down. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Wendy, thank you very much, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Now, there's a nice lady. And now, I'm going to get people that say that I'm a racist because of that. If it's in your heart and in your mind and in your thoughts, why can't you express that? I'm by far being a racist. But I've sit there year after year, and I thought, what idiots we are. The N word. Why they got the N word? We don't use the P word for pedophile, and that's a lot worse. We don't use the K word. Let's use the K word. We can't say killer anymore because that's nasty. That takes people's lives. We can't use the killer word anymore. We'll say the K word. What the hell's wrong with us? We can say any word we want. Now, we can't abuse the proud black race. We can't abuse the white race. I can say honky. Now, if I say you no good rotten hunky, you're no good bastard, now that's kind of hateful. But I can just say hunky if I wanted, not the C word. And that's what I want to know. I just thought about that. Why whenever we're on the radio or television or out in the community and we can say hunky? No more hunky, the H word. Hell, we won't have any more words in this world. We'll hyphenate them, the H word, the K word, the S word for stupid. What the hell's wrong with us? But you'll get people, I don't want to hear that. Well, then don't listen. You don't have to listen, black or white. Hunky, cracker. Okay, no, I can't use cracker anymore. Hey, honey, give me some chili and the C word. Can't use cracker anymore. Why the hell can't you? You can use any damn word you want. And you can even be disrespectful. You can't threaten somebody, but you can say what the hell you want. You can call somebody a no-good ass-wipe bastard. I don't know why you can't. But here, you can't use asswipe anymore, so that's the A word. Bastard, you can't use it, so it's the B word. Hell, we're going to need a code. We're going to need a code to understand each other before it's all over. But anyway, you people think about it. We all have a First Amendment right. And I am a true patriot, and I love this great country, and I love what it stands for. But when an asswipe bastard says I have hate speech, it's not hate. It's real speech. I'm thinking, and here, I'm going to go a step further. I'm with someone yesterday, and it's a white guy. And we talked about affirmative action. We talked about affirmative action, more so back in the day, where even if a black person wasn't qualified, even if he got a 30 on the test, and it happened in police departments all over the country, they weren't the best qualified. And it's because they didn't have a good education. And sometimes it wasn't their fault. And so people, let's have affirmative action. A white guy got a 95 on the test to be a policeman. The black guy got a 45. But we got to have affirmative action. So we have to take some of those 45% guys and put them above the 95% guys. You guys all know that went on, black and white. It was never right, but it was something that the politicians thought was needed to try to elevate the black community. And I understand that, but not in a position where you're really not qualified. But anyway, we're talking about affirmative action, and this guy likes basketball. And I thought, affirmative action in professional basketball. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. Hey, and Kevin Slayton, if you're listening, give me a call. Let's think about affirmative action in basketball. And I don't know the exact percentage, but I know probably 95% of the participants in basketball, the fans, we'll call them, the people that pay big money to go to the game, about 90, we'll put 90%. 90%, and that's an arbitrary figure, of course, are white. You can look whenever the TV cameras pan the crowd. About 90% white, if not more. Then when they shoot down on the basketball court, guess what? There's about 90% black basketball players. And first, I would say, in this country, some of the blacks say the whites are racist. We helped elect the black president, the first black president. We support the NBA, the National Basketball Association. The guy said yesterday, now that's the National Black Asses, and he's a little racist, and that's okay. He can be whatever he wants to be. But anyway, 90% of the basketball players are black. Now, if the proud black community and the entire black community believed in affirmative action, then we should have about 90% white basketball players on the court. Now, we know these white basketball players aren't as good as the black basketball players, but that don't make any difference. Let's play the affirmative action card. We got to have a lot of whites out there. Now, if it was just the opposite, it'd be different. Remember a few years back, they had baseball and the blacks weren't really playing baseball anymore. So they had some kind of program to get the blacks back in baseball at the high school level, at the college level. And that's okay. That's good. That's a good thing. But why whenever the whites get hurt, the blacks don't bitch about it? Why is that? If we're going to have it fair, let's have it fair for all. Thus, the National Association for Majority Equality, all we want is equal treatment. We will not ever, as members of the National Association for Majority Equality, we will never, ever ask for better treatment, for more than equal treatment. But we will not tolerate any less. Is that racist? Or is that just fairness? To me, that's fairness. But think about it. We need some white guys dribbling around there, not dribbling on the sidelines, drinking their soda, dribbling the soda off their chin. I don't mean dribbling like that. I mean on the basketball court. Think about it. If affirmative action was equal on both sides, we'd have a lot of low-scoring basketball games because white guys can only jump. And I don't understand. But I do understand this. See, the blacks get a false hope. I go to the YMCA in the evening. There's 40, 50 kids playing basketball. If there's 50, 49 are black. Now, I don't know where the white kids are at, but see, some of the blacks, they aspire to be professional basketball players, and that's all they think about. And they're never going to make it. They're never going to make it. but they sit there and practice and practice. They don't go out and get a job. And I'm not saying racist. If it was whites, I'd say the same thing. You know, some of us live in la-la land. But you got to be a realist. You got to be a realist. But people, they only want to be real when it benefits them. Otherwise, they don't give a damn. So I ask, if we're going to be treated equal, if that's what the black community wants, if that's what the white community wants, then where's the problem? But none of us on either side of the aisle, black or white, we can't be hypocrites. It's either fairness for all or fairness for none. Fairness for all or fairness for none. If you can find any racism in that, please let me know. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting. You understand? Insane broadcasting. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. I had a gentleman tell me yesterday, come up to me, and he said, how refreshing, and this is a white guy, how refreshing it is to have someone who's not politically correct on the radio. And I said, sir, you know, I'm not politically correct. I am politically insane, but I don't play the crowd, people. I tell you the way I feel. I tell you the way I think. And I tell you to research what I say and what I think. And you'll find out that the vast, vast majority of the time, I'm totally right. I could sit there and soft soap a situation. I could sit there and be mamby-pamby. Hell, I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh. I can't listen to him anymore because he's so slow. And he wants to be somewhat politically correct. Now, he'll give the politicians hell, but he don't want to lose sponsorships, so he's never going to get thrown off the air. They can't throw me off the air for my speech. Now, if people don't want to advertise, that's fine. But see, this station's not about getting advertisement. This is about getting the word out. That's the way it's been for 10 years, and that's the way it'll be for another 10 years. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass because, see, we don't have to in America. And I tell you time and time again, if you're mad for what I say and how I say it, go over there and bitch at the proud, brave military heroes that are laying in the graves over Jefferson Barracks National Memorial Cemetery or all throughout this great country. There's the ones that give me the opportunity. But remember, they give you the same opportunity. So if you don't use it, then that's on you. That's on you, ass white bastards, both black and white. And, you know, some of the blacks, and I've heard it, hey, them whites, what are they bitching about? They're white. They got no reason. Are you crazy? See, we're not going to blanket just because somebody's white. There's a lot of us white people that had a bad time coming up. I had a real bad time coming up. I didn't sit there and bitch about it. You know what I did? I did something about it. I didn't sit on my ass and bitch like a lot of the whites, a lot of the blacks do. And I had another thing. I might as well bring this up. See, I'm saying what most white people and a lot of the proud blacks understand. If somebody deserves aid, let's give it to them. But I'll be damned, both black and white, they sit on their ass generation after generation. And down in East St. Louis, it's really only half the blacks' fault. It's these white politicians' fault because they don't want the blacks to be successful because they want to keep them on the political plantation. You saw what happened November the 8th. They come up, they give the white boys the vote, the Spragues, the Kerns living in their $1 million, $2 million estates, and the blacks who could control the county, who could do something for the proud black community, they sell out for the snoots and the muscatel. They're living in squalor. They're living in poverty. But see, apparently that's the way they want it. And if that's the way they want it, fine, but don't be crying. Don't be crying and bitching. But I got to ask, if somebody can work, they're on aid. Here's why, we'll go another direction. They talk about how many blacks are in East St. Louis, the population. That may be the population, but they don't live down there. They stay down there in those housing, what do they call them? Boarding houses, 30, 40 apiece all over. But they actually live in Belleville. They can't get aid in Belleville Township, unless they're really deserving. But down there, you can get aid as long as you're going to vote the way they tell you to vote. So they keep them on the political plantation. But I would ask, if you get aid, fine, but let's do something for it. Get your ass up and work for the county, work for the state. Go out and clean the streets. Do something. Learn some work ethics. And I don't just mean black. I mean white, too. I'm tired of paying. I'm tired of paying for everybody that's a bum. I'll never be tired of taking care and paying for the unfortunate people that can't take care of themselves. I don't want to take care of the ones that won't take care of themselves. See, the difference between can't and won't, there's a hell of a difference, people. If you can't take care of yourself, I'll be there for you. Our society, the American people, will be there for you. But if you won't take care of yourself, you can go out and starve your asses, both black and white. I'm tired of footing the bill. And I'm sure the proud blacks are tired of footing the bill. And the proud whites are tired of footing the bill. Sit there, you see them in the store, both black and white bums. Not the proud blacks and the proud whites, but the bums of all races. Getting the food stamps, getting to this, getting to that. You see, they drive out in a nice car. But it's been generation after generation. That's the way they've learned. And you really I can't blame them totally. Because their parents, their grandparents did the same thing. They don't know any better. We've got a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hello, Mr. Romanik.
How you doing, sir?
I'm Richard from Jerseyville. I called you Wednesday before Thanksgiving. This is, comments, that I see about the world, And what you was talking about, the white people drawing welfare, yeah. I mean, it's, how you have the term plantation Negroes?
Uh-huh.
I kind of look at them plantation Wigros.
Okay, I'll buy that.
And generations of it. And, that makes me mad whenever I see some old person having to go work at Walmart, to supplement their Social Security because they can't afford to buy their medicine. That's horrible.
Right. I agree with you, Richard.
Or McDonald's, and the gay thing, yeah, they push their agenda down us, What if I'm from the country here, what if I push my white country values down their throat? Then I would be a racist, a bigot, and everything else, but they're free to, run free range, Now,
Richard, I know you listen to me, but be honest. After listening to me, haven't you got a little bit, haven't you felt, and a lot of people out there, don't you feel a little bit freer that you be able to speak your mind and let other people hear what you have to say? Don't you feel like there's been a weight lifted off your shoulder now after listening to me, Richard? Be honest.
Yes, I do, sir. I believe that, that's the thing, and I know there's a lot of proud black people, and they get mad about the word nigger.
Okay. And you know what? If you call them that, Richard, they should be. But for you to use that term, they have no right to get mad. That's just a term. That's a word in the dictionary. They can get mad, but they have no right to get mad. But go ahead.
But if I was black, I'd be offended by being called an African American, especially if I was born in America.
Great point.
You know, because, see, sir, you know, I'm born in America. My ancestors are Irish, German, and that. They don't call me a German American. They don't call me an Irish American. I'm an American.
Yeah. Well, see, Rich, thanks for the call, buddy. We got a limited time here, but always appreciate the calls. But you're right. If you want to be an American, let's be an American. Why you got to be? Well, see, but it's African American or Black America, because back in the day, the affirmative action, you really got more by being black. And so everybody wanted to be, you're African American. Now, at one point, it was use the word Negro. And then they got pissed off. Then it was colored people, and they don't like that. But there's still the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, a great group if it's used for the right things, if it's used to help the black people come about, help the black people get a head start, get them going. All these groups are good. And I can't even say a group that just is about white people. Why should that be bad? It's not good for the blacks. But if the whites want to do something for the white people, why is that racist? The blacks can do something for the blacks. You've heard me, Black Miss America, Black Lawyers Association over in St. Louis, and they've got a lot of proud blacks. They've got a Black Firemen's Association, Black Miss America, Black Entertainment Television. And that's okay. I'm not offended by that at all. But I don't want somebody giving me hell if I want to do something for my race. If I want to bring my race to the forefront. Because if you don't bring your race to the forefront, if the whites keep going back and not saying anything, not doing anything, then the blacks are going to go ahead of the whites. Now, that ain't going to happen on my watch. You're never going to go ahead of me. You can stand in line. We can stand side by side. You hear me? Side by side. But you're not taking my seat on that bus at the front of the bus. I and many other white people and black people have earned our seat at the front of the bus. Now, I'll always make room for you if you've earned your seat at the front of the bus, either black or white. But if you think you're going to push your way up to the front and not earn your way up to the front, you've got a fight coming with me. I don't give a damn what color you are. And that's what's wrong in our society. People, in 100 years, we're going to be a third-rate nation. Our young generation, they don't want to work. The work values, the work ethics in the 40s, 50s, and even the 60s are gone. And anybody says any different, they're stupid. And I don't just mean in the black community. I mean in the white community. The whites are getting lame as hell, too. We got the blacks lame, the whites lame. Hell, the Chinese and the Mexicans will come in. What is wrong? What's wrong, people? Got to stand up. We got to be realists. We're living in la-la land. We'll go back. We'll get on this one last time. I like that word, Wigrows. I guess that's white. But I do like that term. And I got to say this. I wasn't a big Trump fan, but I was less of a Hillary fan than I was a Trump fan. But Trump's recent disavowal of white supremacists doesn't quiet concerns. Now, I don't give a damn. Now, here's Trump, and you got these white idiots. Some of them are white racists and supremacists, and I understand that. And they're for Trump. Trump's not for them, but Trump's got a backslide. No, it ain't. Hey, if the Ku Klux Klan says they're for Bob Romanik, then so be it. They've got every right to be for me. I'll disavow their organization because I don't believe in the Ku Klux Klan. But I'm not going to sit there and backpedal and not say what I want to say because the Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist, oh, that Romanik's on the right track. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a racist. And I deplore the members and the philosophy and the activities of the Ku Klux Klan. But if they want to be for Bob Romanik, they got every right to be for Bob Romanik. People want to scare people away. And I'll tell you, well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I want to talk about this asswipe, no count, good for nothing, Massachusetts college. What a piece of crap, and they're supported by our tax dollars. We'll talk about that right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to apologize. We haven't had time to get to the public service, but we'll start that again tomorrow. So please send or write, email, call, any information about any fraternal groups, military groups, social groups, dog groups, animal rights groups. We'd be more than happy to put it on the air. We've just been with the political situation, got a little out of hand, but now we're going to get back to normal. But I see here this Massachusetts college. They pulled the flag down, then they burned the flag because Trump got elected. What the hell's wrong with people? If Hillary would have got elected and Trump's people would have done that, it would have been a totally different situation. And again, I don't give a damn about, we can't change nothing at the national level. All we can do is change at the local level. You know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and you got to take that step. We've taken it. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is not going away. And the National Association for Majority Equality is not going away. It's groups that need to be heard, and they're going to be heard right here. But these asswipes in New Hampshire College, in Amherst, pulled the flag down, these students, burned the flag, and they want federal and state money. They're lucky I'm not a politician up there. I'd yank every damn penny they had. You know, they want to partake of all the opportunities this great country gives us. Then they want to burn the flag. It's like somebody giving you $100 a day and then you start slapping the hell out of them. You can't disrespect our great country. And if you don't like our country, that's fine. Go someplace else. But if you think we're going to support colleges, we're going to support people who don't support us, you're crazy. A gentleman sent me this. He says, we gather through the grateful thoughts and prayers intended to our veteran brothers and sisters and the heroic sacrifices of so many of our brothers and sisters who have faithfully served our God and our nation. It is the military hero, not the reporter, who gives us the freedom of the press. It's the military hero, not the poet, who gives us the freedom of speech. It's the military hero, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the military hero, not the lawyer, who gives us the right to a fair trial. And it is the military hero who salutes the flag and whose casket is draped by that same flag. You know, people, I don't understand. This country's going to hell because it's our fault. Not our fault that all the protests are going on, all the protests, all the looting, all the burning, the rioting. That's not the rioters' fault. That's our fault for letting it happen. And it's going to continue to happen until we step up as proud Americans and say, both black and white, men and women, even Democrats and Republicans, we're not going to take this crap anymore. It just pisses me off. St. Clair County, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I start ranting and raving. St. Clair County board members, including Kern, Mark the Big Faggot, Kern, cost taxpayers, the hardworking taxpayers of St. Clair County, over $500,000 a year in pensions and health benefits. And that's part-time jobs for the county board members, and most of them. The county board members, part-time positions, over $500,000. Now in Madison County, and they went Republican, it only cost the taxpayers $40,000. Do you understand? 40,000 as opposed to 500,000. Same county boards do the same thing, next to nothing. St. Clair County for health insurance, for retirement. That's unbelievable. That's the next move we need to make, people. We all need to unite together and get rid of the pensions, get rid of the health insurance for a part-time, once-a-month job in St. Clair County. We can't pay our bills at home, a lot of us. And we're tolerating this crap. Why doesn't Mark, the big faggot Kern, who just got reelected because of the good people in East St. Louis, why don't he make a resolution that that's a part-time job? Why should the taxpayers be paying for the pensions? Why should the taxpayers be paying for the health insurance for the county board members and their family? That's when we need to step up, people. We need to start getting involved. We need to get involved. We need to have our voices heard. Everybody needs to talk to, and don't talk to your county board member, because hell, he's not going to be for it, because he loses a big pension and he loses all that health insurance and life insurance for him and his family, people. $500,000 a year. Madison County has county board members, $40,000 a year. Do you see the corruption in St. Clair County? Now, you had a chance to stop it, and the good people in the outer county would have stopped it. But the boys down in East St. Louis, the plantation Negroes, they live on that political plantation. They got enough money for some wine and some snooks. And that's the way it's got to be, people. But we can put a stop to this. Do you understand? $500,000 a year for a part-time job, for insurance and pensions. And we're going to be paying those pensions forever. And when we die, our children and grandchildren. Why are we that stupid? People, you got to quit being so stupid. You got to stand up for your rights. And it's your right to complain about spending $500,000 a year on county board members' benefits. But see, that's in St. Clair County. We're going to talk tomorrow about that. We're going to talk about the Hyatt Place Hotel, who's never coming to town, and these ass-white bastards, this Keller group, that's trying to blame Mike Bittner, the only alderman in Belleville that'll stand up for the people, that'll speak for the people. They're saying nothing's getting done because we're criticizing them. No, we're not criticizing them. We're just letting everyone know what's not going on. You know, that's critical. That's just the way it is. They promised that in the summer. Now it's going to be in the winter. Now it's going to be next year. Now they make excuse after excuse. And you can thank Mark Maximus Vaginas, the big pussy Eckert, the mayor of Belleville, for his lack of leadership. They should have had everything in place. Nothing's in place. It's cost you taxpayers a couple $1 million, and it's going to continue to cost you taxpayers until you stand up to these political parasitical punks that we call politicians and do something about it. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow, same time, same place. Listen, if you got the guts, if you are offended by anything, even me breathing, because I breathe on this show, don't listen. Don't let your children listen that should be in school, you asswipe, stupid, bad parents. But people, we have to understand, it's not pretty in our society. We can't soft soap it. We have to tell you the way it is. You have to understand the way it is. Then you have to go about the task of changing things. You can't sit there in la-la land. When you listen to me, if we're not in la-la land, we tell you the truth. Little hard-hitting. If you can't take it, don't listen. But if you listen, you'll understand. If you understand, you'll help make this country great again. Because together, we can unite and continue to expose these political parasitical punks that we call politicians. Continue to drag them over the coals of hell, the political coals of hell. And one day, And we're chipping away, people. We are chipping away. One day soon, we will, like they've done in Madison County, we will destroy this culture of corruption in St. Clair County for the betterment of black, white, men, women, Democrats, and Republicans. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.